Hi, and welcome to On the Spot. My name is Ronnie Wiley. To my left is the two Johns of the Whitewater Valley Railroad. I got John Sprinkle to my left and John Brooks as well. Welcome, guys. Now, we talked before we went on the air that all three of us are really transplants to Fayette County. I came here in 1987. John Brooks, you came in 2015?
That's correct.
And John Sprinkle, you don't live here at all.
No, I live here actually 2 nights a week when I come over and volunteer at the railroad. The rest of the week, I'm a native of Springfield, Ohio.
Yes, I've been to Springfield many times as a Daytonian hometown. So tell me, what got you involved with the Whitewater Valley Railroad from Springfield?
Well, it's probably about a dozen years ago, I was at the Model Railroad Show in Dayton, Ohio, and I encountered a couple volunteers from the Whitewater that had a booth set up, and they were looking for volunteers to come help run the railroad. And I thought, wow, that sounds pretty cool. So I came over and took our new member training class and fell in love with the place and been here ever since.
Now, was this something you were interested in as a little kid?
I've always loved trains and railroading. Always been within earshot of the railroad at home and enjoyed watching trains, and having the opportunity to actually operate a real life-size train is just incredible.
So like you do some engineer work, like
I'm an engineer,
you
yes.
You drive it?
I drive it.
Now, that's not like driving a vehicle, right? I mean, you're driving a powerful, it's a locomotive. It's not as powerful as Superman, but darn close. So, I mean, how long does it take you to learn how to drive one of those beasts?
So it's a multi-year process. You start out at the railroad as a student brakeman, and you have a set number of trips you have to run as a brakeman. Once you graduate from being a student brakeman into a brakeman, then you become a student conductor and have some trips as a student conductor. You graduate from that to a full conductor, and then finally you become a student engineer and have a number of trips to make with another engineer to on-the-job training, and eventually you graduate to an engineer. So the whole process is about 6 years long.
That's like a master's degree.
Just about.
It's like a master. Now, when I think of a conductor, what I think of a conductor is one. Then they don't have cabooses anymore, which I think is a tragedy because I used to love the caboose. But I always think of the guy who says "all aboard." Yeah. And so, what does a conductor do other than that?
So the conductor is in charge of the train. He manages the crew, takes care of any passenger problems, and interfaces with the other management of the railroad. So the buck stops with the conductor.
So the conductor is mainly, you only see that on a passenger train.
So freight
correct?
Trains also have a conductor. Today's modern freight trains will have a crew of 2 people, an engineer and a conductor, and both of them will be in the engine.
That's unbelievable.
In our trains, we have an engineer and a fireman in the engine, several brakemen, and the conductor back on the coaches with the passengers.
Wow. So you've been doing this for a dozen years now.
Mm-hmm.
And John, you've been over here, 3 years now?
2 years with the railroad, but in the community for 3 years.
Now, what got you involved with the railroad? And first off, where do you originally come from?
I originally come from Cicero, Indiana, so just north of Noblesville.
Okay.
In 2015, my wife, Lindsay, got a job teaching down here at CMS. She's a 7th and 8th grade science teacher.
Okay.
From there, her father is active in the railroad. He's actually the superintendent and the chief mechanical officer.
Here in town?
For Whitewater Valley Railroad.
Oh, wow. What was his name again?
His name's Mike Scott.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so I guess you could say, we moved down here where we live 5 minutes from the railroad, and we just kind of began to think, well, I mean, surely there's a way we can help him out, right?
Wow.
So we took the training class just like John, obviously not the same year. He's been doing it a little longer than me.
Right.
But it took one training class, and I knew, well, this is fun. This is something I want to do.
And you guys volunteer your time, correct?
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so.
Everybody at the Whitewater, except for our office manager, is a volunteer.
Wow, that's amazing. So was this something you decided to do when you were a little kid, the interested in trade, or just thought, hey, I want to help the family out?
It started like that. I didn't grow up as a model railroader. I did live near former nickel plate tracks that ITM used to operate through Noblesville and Cicero. So I was around trains, but it wasn't something that I thought one day, hey, I'm going to be volunteering out here. And I got into it just to help out, Mike, and my wife enjoyed it. And like I said, it went from, I'll do it to help, to one training class, and I knew that I wanted to do this. Yeah.
I was up in, I think it was Rensselaer, around the Rensselaer area. There was this place that was just out of the way. It was in the middle of nowhere. It was like a railroad, like Hall of Fame type place. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but that place was absolutely fabulous. And obviously there was that movie that was filmed in Connersville. You're aware of that one that they did. They used the you chuckle.
A terror squad.
Yeah. Well, this was the one that was filmed in Connersville, Seven Deadly Words.
Okay.
Where they filmed. There was another movie filmed.
Actually, it's down in Laurel. Back
Terror Squad. Is that like an action adventure movie?
It was a horrible horror /
one of those cheesy
catastrophe film.
Oh, yeah.
Terrorists were going to blow up the nuclear reactor somewhere in the area, and we built a balsa wood boxcar, and down in Laurel had a bus drive through it. So.
Oh wow! So you've been seeing some very interesting stuff. Now, there's lots of events going on with Whitewater Valley Railroad. This is a prime time of the year. This holiday season, prime time of the year. How early do you guys get started with preparing for this season?
Preparations have been going on since the events ended last year.
Oh wow!
It's a all year long preparation. As soon as one thing's done, you got to start looking at dates for the next year and planning. So it takes a lot of work to put these events on.
What do you do with the preparation? What things do you get involved with?
Well, as far as actually crewing, I'm a brakeman and a student conductor. But when it comes to putting on events, I'm active in helping set up our North Pole site. When Santa visits us.
Yeah.
And I also help in the production of the Ghost Train.
Yeah, well, see, that's...
The Ghost Train of Metamora, excuse me.
Yeah, the Ghost Train of Metamora. Now, how long has that been going on?
This is really its third season. We kind of had a test season 2 years ago. Last year is the first year we really started to promote it. We had a lot of great feedback from that. We had about 2,300 riders.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's through the whole this month of October, correct?
Yeah, it starts the 12th of October, and that's a Friday, and it runs Friday, Saturday for 3 weekends starting the 12th.
Oh, wow. Now, tell me all about that. What's involved with the Ghost Train? It's scary, correct? It's not as cheesy as the horror terror train, right?
It's better than Terror Squad.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah.
Well, it is a family-friendly event. We don't do jump scares and we don't do gore. Most of our riders are families, and so we don't want to alienate them for this event. Right. But it's a 30-minute train ride out of Metamora that passengers they kind of get an experience with some lore about the railroad, maybe some tragic history along the line, and maybe they're visited by people from not the mortal plane.
Oh, wow, that's very neat. So is this, they pick up the train in Metamora and ride up here?
Well, they go down to our ticket office in Metamora, and it's only a 30-minute ride, so it operates about 2 miles out of Metamora and then back to Metamora.
Oh, okay. Wow. That's amazing. Now, when you guys decided to do something like this, what was the idea behind it? You haven't done it before, is that why, or?
We had done a Halloween-themed train in the past, down in Nulltown, where the old Nulltown variety store used to be. Right. They used to have a haunted house in the basement. And many years ago, we ran a special train down there to the haunted house. And it was popular, and then that fell out of business, and we didn't do anything for many years. And then just the last several years, we thought, well, there's a lot of Halloween-themed things going on in Metamora. The canal boat runs, the carriage rides run. Why not have a train ride too? So we put together some ideas, and it's been growing ever since.
That's amazing.
How can we be better partners with people that we interact with all throughout the year?
Now, you talked about it being only a 30-minute, you said it only goes out 2 miles. How fast does the train go? Because I would think 30 minutes would be from the whole length of Metamora to Connersville. Is it pretty much a slow-moving train?
So our top speed anywhere on our line is 15 miles an hour.
Oh, I guess that's...
the Ghost, a little long. The Ghost Train is probably going to run about 10 miles an hour or so, and because of some of the scary things that may or may not pop up along the way, you might have to make a stop here or there.
Yeah, that's awesome. What's the cost of the Ghost Train?
Tickets are $10 for passengers 2 and up.
Oh, wow. Okay, $10 for that. And that sounds like that's a lot of fun. And that runs exactly when?
It runs, well, it starts October the 12th.
Okay.
And so the 12th and the 13th and the next 2 weekends after that.
Wow, that's awesome. Check that out. Now, that's not the end of the season. We got November coming up, Thanksgiving, we got Christmas right around the corner from that. This is a very busy season for Whitewater Valley Railroad.
Absolutely.
What's going on after the ghost train?
So the last weekend in October, the 27th and 28th, we also have our pumpkin liner train, which departs from Connorsville. And it's a very short trip. You depart the Grand Central Station and go about 2 miles out of town to the campground just south of town on 121. And we have a pumpkin patch set up there. So the kids go down there, they get off the train, they get on a little wagon and take a little short hay ride back to the pumpkin patch and pick out a pumpkin and come back on the hay wagon and back on the train back to the station. So it's a very fun trip for the younger children that may find the ghost train a little bit too scary or something. And for $10, you get a train ride, a hay ride, and a pumpkin. So
that's not bad. That's a very good deal. So you're thinking all types of family. I mean, you're talking. I mean, it's definitely family oriented for that. What's going on after the pumpkin patch?
So Polar Express begins on November 16th. That is by far our biggest event of the year. We run trains, 2 trains Friday, Saturday, and Sundays from November 16th through December the 16th. That's 30 trains altogether. We will sell out the event. We have for the last couple of years, other than maybe the first night might have been a few seats left. So if anyone has any thoughts about coming on Polar Express, now's the time to buy your tickets. They're about halfway gone already.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
we really have fun with this event. Tickets are $35 for adults and children, but you get a hot chocolate, a cookie, a reading of the Polar Express story, and of course a visit from Santa Claus, and the kids get the first gift of Christmas, which is a little silver sleigh bell.
That's awesome. And how long has this been going on?
This, I believe, will be our 14th year of Polar Express.
Wow, that's, I mean, when you think of the Whitewater Valley Railroad, you think of the Polar Express, seeing the trains depart down the Metamora. What time is the departure during those trips?
So those trips leave at 5 and 8 p.m.
Oh, wow, so you get 2 during the day to pick.
And then on Sunday, we have a 2 in the afternoon train, which works out really well for those with the younger kids that want to get home before dark.
Right, yeah, definitely. And also, after church, go on down there and have fun with that. Now, that you got some other activities towards the end of the year, is that correct?
We also have, on the Saturday after Thanksgiving, we have our Santa Claus Express, which that is the longest running event that we've had at the railroad. That's been running since the 1970s.
Oh, wow.
I believe this is our 45th year
Wow.
doing this event.
Wow.
So it's another short train ride. Santa Claus gets on the train, gives everybody a candy cane and a short greeting, and you go from Connorsville down to maybe Knolltown or so and back. And that's another $10 ride, so it's really good if you've got some family that comes in for Thanksgiving weekend. Hey, let's all go ride the Santa Claus Express on Saturday.
And the kids probably dig that the most, since they get to spend quality time with Santa Claus. Now, how many cars is each event get the same amount of cars, or is it one? Or tell me about that, like the ghost train. How many cars are you going to have?
Well, the ghost train, it really will depend on demand. We generally operate with 2 coaches and a caboose. And we have the ability to run with 3 coaches and a caboose. So, and that's all based on demand.
So 3 is the max. And how many people
event.
can fit in a train?
Well, I mean, we could do anywhere roughly from 60 to 70 people in a coach. For most coaches, on one of the ones we use, we'd be looking probably closer about 50 on that coach.
Wow.
And that's, sorry, go on.
No, go you ahead.
When you compare that to something like Polar Express, that's 6 coaches.
Oh, wow.
And all 6 of those coaches are going to be full.
That's
And
amazing.
John probably has a number on
About
capacity.
450 per
Yeah.
Polar Express train.
Wow. Per trip?
Per trip.
Wow. Now, how far do people come from? I mean, obviously this is a great local event, but you're pulling from other areas.
We have folks that will come from hours away. Ohio, Kentucky, Michigan, Illinois.
That's amazing.
It's Christmas. Everybody loves Christmas, and why wouldn't you want to come?
Yeah, that's right. You jump on the train and have a good old time. So, it does. And again, I'm just thinking of the engineering aspect of it all, which I have know nothing about. But I would think if there's more trains, the train would run slower, or does it matter? Like if you have 6 cars, is it a slower train ride?
Nope.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it.
Our locomotive power is capable of, pulling 6 coaches with 450 people on it
Wow.
at 15 miles an hour or more if we needed to. But like John said, 15 miles an hour is our track.
So you get 15 miles an hour. Now, I remember years and years ago they used to have the dinner train, and I apparently they don't do that anymore.
We still do
you
have the
do?
train to dinner. It's the first and third Fridays of every month. However, all of the dinner trains for the remainder of the year are already sold out.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I'd say I've done it once years and years ago. I hadn't gone back. Now, refresh me. Is it still go to the Laurel Hotel?
Still goes to the Laurel
It's
Hotel.
amazing.
The food is just as good as you remember.
Yeah. I tried frog legs the first time. Everybody said it tasted like chicken. I thought that was not correct. I just didn't like it at all. But I remember that. Yeah, we went down there, and it was a fabulous time. I didn't know. Got to get down there, and that's the first and third of every month?
First and third Fridays of every month.
Yeah.
From this year, we ran it from June through October. Next year, we may return to running it from May through October.
Wow, that's amazing. We got to get the word out for that because I did enjoy that. What's the cost of that?
The tickets for that, I believe, are $37.
I think it's 39.
$39.
Yep.
And you
okay.
get, does that include the meal?
Dinner, the train ride, tips, gratuities, everything. It's all inclusive.
Tell me how someone can get involved to volunteer for your organization.
Well, that's a great question, right? Really, if they have a question and they're wondering, this is something I want to do, the easiest way is to reach out to us, whether it's Facebook or email, stopping by the depot. But every year in February, this coming year, in 2019, our class starts the 23rd. It's a 6-week class where people are trained how to be a brakeman, how to be a student brakeman, what does it take to keep a railroad running, and history of the railroad. I took that 2 years ago, and like I said, walked in there not thinking, previously that man, this is something I want to do, and 2 years later, this is something
Something you want to do.
Yeah.
And you want other people to
And I want other people to do
it.
it and come out, have a good time, and keep operating with us. So,
Absolutely. Well, John and John, go see them at the Whitewater Valley Railroad. It sounds like a great time, great fun, great
Absolutely.
experience with the families. Stick around as you check out some of the ghost train images. We're going to be talking to Art and Connie in Metamora. They got some haunted activities they're going to share with you, so stick around. Here with Connie Regal and Art Hamilton. There with you're in Metamora, and you guys scare people. Tell me all about it and who you're with.
With the Metamora Haunted Village and group around Metamora, we all do things. We're all volunteers. We do our Haunted Village 3 weekends in October, and everybody that does it is a volunteer.
Awesome.
The kids in town, it lets them be a part of our town.
That's
Because
awesome.
kids love to scare.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And they're the best scarers.
It's in their nature.
Yes.
I was gonna say, I know Art. I know Art likes to scare too.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
tell me about this. Again, here in this area, we really don't have any more haunted houses since Crazy Acres went out. was something that you guys wanted to do for a while? What got you involved with the Haunted
They've
Village?
been doing it for a few years. One organization had it and quit, so the merchants picked it up. And it always costs $5 a person, and all the money goes to advertise the town.
And what do you get for that $5?
You get a hayride across town, and then a tour guide takes you, and then we zigzag back and forth, and we decorate it up all haunted. And
wow.
All the kids scare and grown-ups.
So that's the reason they call it a village.
It's the whole village.
You
It's the whole
literally
village.
walk the whole town.
Yes.
Wow. Well, now, do you visit any merchants on the way?
There's some of them out there scaring. There's some merchants that are open.
A lot of them are in costume, so
Yes.
Yeah.
so
So
you don't know who they are or where they're from.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Now
But a
is
lot
this,
of them participate.
now, do you guys get involved with, or before hey, do you guys like plan how to scare people? Do you plan a theme for it, or?
There's some things. I mean, we've been walking it for a month now because it takes a while to figure out where you want to put stuff, how you want to do it, because
wow.
the places where there's not people, you have to scare them anyway.
Right.
Or you have to have a storyline.
Right.
So we try to set up a storyline.
Do you guys change it from year to year?
Oh, yeah. It's a little bit different. And it's never the same twice in a row.
We
wow.
orchestrate it because our scares change every year.
Wow. Okay, and you said it's never the same.
You can go the first round out and the last round out. It's not the same.
Wow.
The scarers move around their free will. They're allowed to go anywhere they want except on the railroad tracks.
Yeah, well,
If you're on one side, you stay on that side. I don't want to see you over that
Right.
other
Yeah,
side.
that's right. Yeah.
And they do really well at it. We have people that stand and watch the tracks because the train does run.
And
Right.
and they get a kick out of scaring the tour guider.
Oh yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
by moving and the tour
Right.
guider not knowing where they are,
Right.
they get a kick out of doing that too.
Wow. So this sounds like a whole lot of fun. How is it? What are the age? Requirements that you guys have
There are
age restrictions?
none. No.
So it's fun for
No.
the whole family.
If you have someone that is 2, 3, or 4 years old, you might want to take the first tour out at 7:30.
Right.
If you have teenagers and you want them to get scared, come later. It's more fun.
Oh yeah. Now, why is that? Why do you guys have it that way?
Because the first round, it is just getting dark.
Right.
And it's
Oh, that's
hard
true.
to
Yeah.
scare in the
There's
daylight.
some
Right, yeah.
daylight available.
Right.
You can see what's coming at you.
Right. Yeah.
But the second round out, it's already there. And so therefore, it's dark and them scarers move.
Wow.
And
We tend to have some famous people
Oh, tell me about it.
once in a while.
Tell me about it. What famous people? Oh, are you allowed to say it now, or is it giving it away?
Well, we can drop a hint because we're not going to tell where they're at.
Right.
But we get people like Headless Horseman from Sleepy Hollow.
Oh wow. So you got the headless horseman. You got people from the.
We got Scarecrow.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There might be a chainsaw man there. You never
Yeah.
know.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
I'm talking about scary
So-
people, famous people from the past.
But,
Yes.
but we are also picky. If you remember, one year we disallowed any clowns
Right.
in town because of
Oh yes.
a couple, 3 years ago with the murders and
Yeah.
stuff.
Right. Yeah. The clowns.
The clowns.
Yeah.
So we disallowed having any for a couple of years.
Oh.
Well, now clowns are back, so you may run into a clown or two.
Yeah.
Some people are real phobic about
They are.
clowns.
There are.
They
people
are.
That, yeah. There are.
I
people.
heard you were one.
Well, I tell you, the original Ronald McDonald, Walter Scott, that guy, he looked like a killer.
Yeah.
Certain clowns, kind of. You're not supposed to mention that, are you? Life to the millions that are watching this right
well,
now.
I forgot.
That's okay. That's all right. That's all right. But it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yes,
Again,
that's the main thing.
and this is something that you guys prepare. You talked about you walking it, months before. Do you guys prepare? When do you start preparing for this?
when you take it down and you're putting it in the barn, in storage, oh, let's change this to this place next year. We always everybody has an input, and it's all volunteer. And so the people that volunteer, they can say, hey, let's try this. Oh, we'll try anything.
And the merchants obviously probably love it because of the fact that they're bringing people to the town.
And we're just now starting the walking tours to try and figure out which way we want to go, who's participating, how to get from here to there, from point A to point B, and not miss anybody or that's scaring.
That is absolutely.
So we may walk it 15 times before it gets here.
So then you have, I mean, you talked about that you're not going to see the same thing twice. Do you walk to different scenarios, or is it just one of those things, the reason why it's different is because of is it because of the audience that you have, the people that you have, or is it just spontaneous?
It's spontaneous. The kids will run you a different route sometimes, you know, or a tour guide forgets, we changed it up this way this year, and they got to backtrack, and it leads a different route, you know, and you never know because we try to have at least 3 tour guides every night.
So now, do they all go stage like in 15-minute intervals? How does that work?
20 minutes apart.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
How many people can fit on the hay? The hay
40
wagon?
is about the most you can handle at a time.
Wow.
Because you got to get them people in through the tight spots.
It'll average about 30, give or take.
Yep.
Wow. What all do you do there, Art?
Well, sometimes I drive the truck and pull the wagon, let the gate down, let them off, let them on.
You don't
sometimes I'll be out in the field and I'll be scared.
Yes. He's a good scarer.
Yeah. You don't wear a mask, do you?
I don't need one. I knew you were setting me up for that.
I was waiting for it, but
I had to take it from you.
That's right, you did.
Yeah.
I tell you what, you're talking about my phobia with. Yeah, that's okay though. So Connie, again, you are actually, I found, and I didn't know this. I thought you were from Connersville, but you're a native Metamorian, if that's what they call it. And Art, of course, you're
Metamorons.
Is that what it is?
That's what
and of
we
course,
are.
Art is here in Fayette County. What all do you guys do with the Whitewater Valley Railroad?
We have a lot of communication with them. I mean, we just set up their canal day spots, and they have to have room to get off and on the train during canal days because that's busy. And during the haunted village, you know, we watch each other, and that way they can use the headless horseman. I could put them where they can see them, and it's a good thing, you know. And they come down all year round, and so we always try to work together on anything because they have a lot of trips down there. They bring cowboys to town.
Oh, wow.
The 3rd Saturday of the month from May to October.
Wow.
You would fit right in.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Cowboy hat, bandana, and 6-shooter.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That'd be my Halloween thing on that.
Yeah.
So you guys talk about volunteers, that volunteers are helping with this, and it sounds like it would be a blast to go scare people, to be a part of that. How does someone get involved with volunteering for you guys?
Come down to the ice cream parlor in Metamora and volunteer, or call me at my landline, my cell phone, and they just volunteer. I had 3 calls last week, people wanting to volunteer, and it's like, that works. Come down and meet me at the ice cream parlor. Be there by 6:30 the first Friday, and we'll get you somewhere and get you scaring.
And you guys put the makeup on the kids?
There is parents that will sit out back and do this.
Oh, wow.
They don't like to scare, but they will sit there and decorate kids' faces.
That's awesome.
And that's awesome.
The night before, or the night of, but like 2 hours before, at the ice cream parlor, the back porch is 20 by 60.
Oh, wow.
And it's full of scares with costumes, makeup all over tables, kids sitting still getting painted up. And kids are painting other kids, and parents are painting other parents' kids.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Oh.
Do they come up with the same?
Oh, they have little tricks they like themselves, and they'll tell them, whoever's painting, can you do this or can you do that? They have an idea what they want.
That's
and then
awesome.
at the end of the night, they all come back there to get an ice cream because that's what they get for scaring.
They get an ice cream.
Yes,
Yep.
our tip jar, we take the money out of it to pay for the ice cream that we give the haunted village
That's
scarers.
awesome.
And they'll sit back there for a couple hours, especially the first Saturday night, telling about how they scared this and how they scared that one, and them kids love it.
Absolutely. Sounds like a lot of fun. Tell us where you're located at again.
Metamora, Indiana, down the Cookie Jar and Ice Cream Shop.
All right, come on down there and get scared this, I guess, Halloween holiday season. Go see
That's
Art.
it.
He'll scare you too. We'll catch you next month on The Spot.